Hello, lovelies. I am the lovely opinionated vegan evolving, and this is me loving living peach. So this morning I woke up with a thought in my head, which seemed to just be a continuation from, I guess, being asleep, which is like being connected to the fifth dimension. And the thought was words that said abundance is not the same as excess. I started to do a video series. Excess always leads to deficit. So in this video series that I am contemplating about how excess leads to deficit and vice versa. And then I asked the question in another video, none of these I've posted yet, maybe they'll get up there, about can you have an excess of financial abundance without that leading to deficit? And I felt like, well, it would lead to deficit in some way, because as far as how much time you have to do other things. But this morning I had a thought, which was abundance is not the same thing as excess. And the reason for that, and what's the difference? What's the difference between abundance compared to excess is your intention and your vibration. So if you are coming from a place of lack, where you don't feel that you have enough, and you are going after financial, I'll just talk about money for a moment, you go after financial gain, but your motivation is coming from a place of lack, that you know, I need money to feel secure, I need money to pay the bills, I need what I'm doing to get the money is not of consequence in this mindset, not as much. So when someone is coming from a place of lack and a feeling of desperation for the money, they are often more willing to do jobs that they don't like or possibly even hate. Maybe they're really good at it. Maybe they've studied in school for years and years and paid an excess of money towards the learning of this skill or trade or business, and so they feel that there's no way that they can stop now. I think many times people have a certain level of an income, and then they create a lifestyle to match that, so that the amount of money that they need, the amount of bills that they have to pay, and the amount of money that they need to pay those bills is, a lot of times a correlation to the lifestyle that they've created, and not so much like what you actually need to survive in general, as far as like living somewhere to safe and clean and eating good food and having what you need to live and thrive. So, what one person might feel is a necessity, another person might feel is an excess, or even something that you should not have. An example for me would be, I don't live with a television. I don't ever want to live with a television again. Having a television is I don't want that there. It's just like too much. I don't like the energy of television. And it's like for me, it's like a vacuum, life-sucking vortex. It's just like a big sort of like negative, like energy kind of thing. I know that that's probably definitely not how most people see it. Most people see I can't even live without television. Like a microwave. I don't have a microwave. I haven't had a microwave in I don't know how many years. It's been decades, maybe 20 years. I don't know. It's been so long since I've had a microwave. And that's something that I find repulsive. The presence of one in the house, even if I know I'm never going to use it, even just the presence of it is, it's like an excess of a negative energy, something I don't want. So, when thinking about abundance or excess or lack or deficit or wholeness, which is what I'm going to be talking about, and the purpose of your intent and the purpose of your actions. So I changed my name. From Lovely Opinionated Vegan Evolution, which is L.O.V.E, love, to Living Peach Love, because living peach is a lot easier to say and remember than lovely opinionated vegan evolution. It's easier to spell. It's shorter. And also, the peach came from, so I knew I needed to change my name. I wanted to come up with something that had purpose and intent and that was aligned with me, and something that was clever and something that was cute and something that was like representing like veganism but didn't have the word vegan in it, and was cute. And so I started to write down words that mean a lot to me as far as like how I want to live my life, which is going to segue into the next video that I'm going to make, which is about if you feel a lack of love and if you feel a lack of purpose and if your energy is down and if your chakras are not aligned, or you don't even know what chakras are, or even you don't even have to believe in chakras yet. It's like later on stuff. But your heart, so I feel that a lot of people, and this starts with myself, for me, I experienced a strong desire as a young child to connect with the feeling of joy, happiness, and authentic, genuine, like an intensely connected feeling of pure joy and happiness. And when I say intense, I don't mean in a scary way. I mean in a kind of all filled up kind of way. Like when you eat some potatoes and it just feels so good. It's like that yummy, yummy, yummy goodness is just in there and it's filling me, and I just feel so nourished and I just feel so satiated. It's like there's a blanket of yumminess inside my body. When it's hot outside, a lot of people complain that it's so hot, so humid, and I just, not that I never complain, but I usually just feel so embraced by earth. It's like it's this amazing hug. The hot air is like a blanket of love that the earth is saying like, I got you. I'm gonna like bathe you in sunshine, and it's just the right amount, and it's not too much, and it's not too cold. So thinking about abundance and wholeness and authenticity and true joy, and so the difference between abundance is that when you are filled up with self-love, of wholeness, of feeling like I am just overflowing with stuff to give, like I feel like I can draw, I can paint, I can write, I can make videos, I love to go for walks, and I just have like a very particularly unique way of viewing the world and of connecting with nature, and my understanding of the outside world, like the physical 3D world outside of me, as well as the 5D, like the metaphysical connections that are energetic connections. Yesterday I went for a walk, and before I went for the walk, I was watching some twin flame videos. Okay, so little by little, I'm like sort of uncovering things. I feel like this whole thought concept of twin flames, it's like I heard about it a little bit. I watched a couple of Ralph Smart videos, and he was talking about this thing, and I was like, kind of like, that sounds so intriguing, and like that's like basically a relationship where the person is reflecting your best qualities back to yourself, and also it's like as well as your shadow work that needs to be done. And I keep hearing this so many times. It's like I feel like I've heard 5 or 10 people saying this in different videos over the last couple of days that I just have to say it too, which is it brings up the stuff to clear it out. It brings up the stuff to clear it out. And this is a cycle. As long as you're living, you will continue, if if you're on this path of higher vibration and of true authenticity and of filling yourself up with self-love, and then all the painful gunk that comes up that you don't want to see, instead of trying to squish it down and stay small and not look at it and just numb yourself and distract yourself and, social media yourself numb and drink alcohol numb and eat unhealthy foods numb and socialize yourself numb, or just like be on the computer and completely isolated at home numb, or workaholism numbness, and all the ways that so many people are walking through this world out there numb, disconnected, feeling anguish inside, and they don't know why, and they try to, maybe you're going to buy like 50,000 pairs of shoes or 5,000 dresses. I have an excess of clothes. Like you can talk about excess of money that's coming from a place of lack, and how that can just sort of spread out into the world in a non-positive way. I like to buy clothes, not that much, I kind of go to like these cheap stores or thrift stores. Like I find ways, I find like people donate stuff to me. I have friends that buy sort of expensive stuff, and then there's like still really good quality, and they're like, Kat likes donations, so I get like bags and bags of clothes to choose from. So it's not that I spend a lot of money on clothes overall, but between the people that hand me downs and the thrift stores that I shop in, and once in a long while I might buy some splurge and buy something expensive, which is compared to really expensive stuff, it's actually still pretty cheap. I somehow managed to manifest a shitload of clothing, and more than I can hang up, more than I can put in drawers, more than I can fold, more than I can wash. I have some in bags in the garage. I have a dresser filled with clothes in the garage. I have bins in the basement with clothes. Now, some of it, of course, is seasonal, and some of it is my kids' stuff and different seasons of stuff for them and different sizes of stuff for them. And, so it's like there's a genuine level of need that is maybe more than other people. I have a lot of bedding and a lot of towels, grandma's moving, and she gives me like all this stuff that she had in a closet, and then my dad passed away, and I get all this stuff that bedding that he had that my mom doesn't need anymore. And so I've like acquired all of these things, and so I end up having an excess of things that are not necessarily at all financial excess, but it becomes a hoarding and a grasping and holding on to out of a place of lack, of fear, of not having enough. Like the person who is a workaholic and only and tells himself, my time is valuable, but yet they put this monetary value on it, which is so limited. And yes, it's important and it's crucial, but the monetary value, that's a limited thing that you put on your time, robs you of those times when you're spending time from a purely authentic place, not because of the monetary value that you're attaching to it, which is a certain limited box. It's like a structure, a finite thing. But the infinite ability, the infinite expansion, the infinite vast, the universe has infinite possibilities for you, and the connections that you can make, and the relationships that you can build, and the people that you can reach in other ways is so infinite. But yet we make ourselves small because we're so scared that, doing that thing that we love, that we do for no money, we tell ourselves, I have told myself for all of these years that the things that I am doing for free are not valuable because I'm doing them for free. The fact that nobody is paying me to sit here for hours and learn and research and absorb and discover and learn and make new connections and make new connections and make new connections, and to put these things together, and then to either write about it in an article and link all of the references that I can to show how I came up with these thoughts, or to try to talk about veganism in a way that might be more palatable or digestible for people who I've had a lot of people say something to me like, I will never go vegan. Like, it's like this wall, it's like a force field, like it's like a buzzing force field of energy of like, no. And you can't push yourself into that. If you try to push yourself into that, it's just going to hurt both of you, and it's not going to help anybody understand compassion. It's not going to help anyone understand compassion, and it's certainly not going to build compassion inside myself if I try to force my beliefs, my point of view on anyone. And that is why I started my blog. That is why I started this YouTube channel. That is why my Instagram went from, weird, cute little things that I see or my kids to, I'm going to use this as a forum to share my art, whether it's a photograph or a drawing I made, or, something I've seen that I'm sharing and I'm adding onto it my perspective, that my opinion, that thing, like an edited opinion, I have to go for a walk. It's beautiful. My kids are come home. Okay, so I'm going to stop so I can get this off the phone and then do the next video where I'm going to talk about, from my non-doctor, non-PhD point of view, how and why veganism can potentially help cure and heal and move past and beyond depression, obesity, illness, a general feeling of lack of purpose, negative energy, sad energy, bad energy, low energy, lack of energy, numb energy, feelings of discontent and disconnection, feelings of just living like a robot who's going through the motions, being disconnected from your